Yeah, so I wore the wrong shirt for this. Oh well, I wasn't thinking this morning. I had one hell of a morning, let me tell you what. So, I just watched Never Hike in the Snow, and I was looking forward to this because I not only have seen the obvious original Never Hike Alone, but I also have met and discussed this pretty heavily with the director, Vincent DeSanti, who I ended up having a fucking entire night with when I went to Mad Monster. I ended up spending the night at Cecil Layard's house from the horror show, and I stayed there as well. And so we stayed up till late talking about this fucking thing. So I was definitely looking forward to that. And hi, Dad. So anyway, my father just made a cameo, but he didn't say hi. But yeah, okay, let's talk about the film first. Now, I'm not going to talk about spoilers, but I did do a review. I recorded one really quick, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to fucking talk about this live. It was like a 15-minute review and everything, and then I was like, I don't know if I want to upload this or I just want to go live, because I haven't went live in a little while, and let's talk about it. So, Never Hike in the Snow. Now, this stars Tom Matthews again. Now, if you have not seen Never Hike Alone, you should definitely check that out before you check this out, because spoilers, Tom Matthews shows up as a cameo at the end, reprising his role as Tommy Jarvis, kind of shocking us all. Like, holy shit. Like, I can't believe he got an actor from the Friday the 13th franchise to reprise a role here. How cool, right? Well, he's got two this time. He's not only got Tommy Jarvis back, but he's got, now Sheriff, Deputy Rick from Friday the 13th Part 6 as well. So we have two characters. So this is basically just a continuation of Jason Lives, which is really interesting and really cool. Now, I will say this right up front. I thought that this was pretty much better in every way than Never Hike Alone. What I was really impressed with in this one was just how well it was shot. Not only how good it looks. Now, what I was saying in my review that I recorded that I'm not 100% if I'm going to post or not, we'll see. But what I was saying in there, and I implore people to do, people who haven't watched many fan films, if not any, please go watch a few fan films before you watch this or before you watch Never Hike Alone. Definitely, if you haven't seen Never Hike Alone, make sure you watch that before you watch this, obviously. But please watch other fan films so you can understand how good this is in comparison to so many others. Like, I've watched a bunch, and they're typically shit. They're poorly shot, they're horribly acted. So for me, I'm just like, dude, like, you've got to understand how well this is done. But yeah, so this is very well shot. The acting in it is actually pretty damn good. Comparatively, as I said, to other fan films where they just basically round up their dipshit friends and they're like, hey, can you act? And the guy's like, no. And he's like, well, you're going to star in a movie anyways. That's typically how these things go. But with Vince here, he actually got some talent in front of and behind the camera. And I was very impressed with this. Now, I told people in the first review, back when I reviewed that thing maybe a year or two ago, I mean, that was a while ago at this point. I was telling them, like, come on, guys, like, stop, like, bring everything down just a little bit. It's getting out of control with how much people praise the shit out of these fan films when they're good. They're just like, oh, it's better than half the films in the franchise. Okay, that's a little ridiculous. You're allowed to have that opinion. I just personally find that to be, hyperbolic, just a little bit. Like, let's just bring it back down. But this one is very good. The kills, that was the thing I was most wanting to see in this one, was some good kills. And the opening kill is actually very good, surprisingly good, and has some good gore to it and has an aftermath. And I was like, wow, all right, he upped that, because that was what was lacking in the first one for me. But yeah, this is on YouTube. This is a YouTube fan film, so go on there, just search in the type, or type in the search bar, Never Hike in the Snow, and there it will be. But as I said before, make sure you watch the first one before. But yeah, so I love to see Deputy or Sheriff Rick here. I thought that was great. A great surprise because I did not know this was going to happen. Now, I will say this film is very short. Very, very short. And Tom Matthews is almost barely in this thing. Now, this is planned to be more segments. This is supposed to be a web series. So we're supposed to get multiple entries into this. Now, how far that will go, I do not know. Whether we're going to get 2 more, 3 more, 4. I think at the moment we have 3 that Vince is planning, but I do not. If anybody has information on that, definitely let me know below what he has planned. But as far as I'm aware, someone told me 3 more. And I would implore him to get those out. I don't want to, bring down the quality of them at all, and I don't want to push him too hard because I know it's a fan film and it's your own fucking money, or, Kickstarter type stuff, Indiegogo, I think, which he had like 2,400 backers, which was crazy. The credits, just to show the backers, might have been longer than the fucking movie itself. It was crazy how many names were up there. But that was how many people really appreciated the fan film and kind of the lull in the Friday the 13th franchise as we're dealing with this, court shit where they can't get another Friday the 13th film out, which is absurd. But now what this film's lacking a little bit comparative to the first one is the first one's a little more character driven, and it follows a central character and we follow him through his journey till the end. This one, it doesn't really do that as much. It kind of jumps from character to character. That being said, it's setting up a larger arc. So I'm okay with it, and I think it will be better once it's accompanied with more segments. So right now, as it stands, I think a lot of people will finish this and they'll be like, oh, that was it? It's quick, man. When it ended, I have to say I was shocked. I was shocked. It kind of hit me like, whoa, wait, what? We're done? Now, thank God I knew more were coming. Otherwise, if I was like, that's it, that's what I waited for, that's a year, whatever. That's why I say we need these segments wherever they're going to, however many they're going to be. We need to get those pretty quick. We got to get those out pretty quick, because you make something this short that ends that quickly. I feel like you're going to lose your audience if you don't get the next segment out within a short period of time. I don't know what that time frame is, and maybe I'm just talking out my ass here. I just can't imagine people waiting a year or 2 for things this short. But I would assume they're all going to need their own little Kickstarters, and so this is going to take time. So I guess maybe it's just going to have to be one of those patience things. But seeing as how he left it off, and seeing as where the story went, and seeing the actors he brought into it, he's obviously in it. Like, he's in it for the long haul. He's going for broke here. So I can't imagine that he doesn't already have some stuff shot for the next one or the next 2 or so on. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask Vince myself if I can get a hold of him. Now he's going to be Mr. Famous Guy. He's not going to be able to he's not even going to remember him. He's going to be like, who? Who the hell are you? Okay, that's fine. But I did like this quite a bit. I was very impressed with how good it looked. I thought the kills were cool. There was definitely some really cool moments. They actually play off of a found footage kind of angle here, which of course we all know Friday the 13th was going to go found footage at one point, when found footage was kind of like the big thing. They had proposed that we were going to do a found footage style Friday the 13th film, which off the top of my head, I don't know if there's ever been a found footage slasher movie. There's been a POV slasher film in Maniac with Elijah Wood, but a found footage slasher movie? The House is October built? I mean, not really. What would be a found footage slasher movie? Anyways, but we get some elements of that here, which I thought was cool. We get some more interaction with another character that I was not expecting to see any interaction with in this, which I am a big proponent of, like making that a more of a focus in the Friday the 13th franchise. I'm not going to give anything away here, but they do play on something else that I was not expecting. I could see people maybe not liking it. I don't know, but I personally enjoyed it. I kept that extremely cryptic. I apologize, but I don't want to ruin that for people. But yeah, if I was to judge this on its own, like if there was no planned future film, I think it's fine. Like I think we get a couple good kills, and I think that it's shot very well, and that would be mostly what I would say. And it would be really cool to have seen now two people from this established franchise coming into a fan film and playing characters that they once played. That stuff's all very cool. But because it doesn't really go anywhere, because it is left off where it is, because it just kind of, it's very much a setup film. It's very much just kind of like, putting things into place for it to be relevant later. There's not much going on here as far as a narrative. It's just the very beginning pieces to the overall puzzle. So it's hard when you're judging things like this on their own. This doesn't have its own arc. Like it doesn't build and then climax and have this big ending kind of thing where it leaves us off, and it's like it could be self-contained. You could end it here, and if we stopped it here, we wouldn't need any more and we'd be fine. It does not have that going for it. This is very much relying on the future films. So that, I don't know. That's not a bad thing as long as we get the next one soon enough and it delivers. Then when it's all out and you can judge them all together in one, it will be a better experience. But as of right now, it does feel very short. It feels very and I can see people being underwhelmed with that. Like, whoa, man, I waited a long time for this. Now, Vince was up against COVID, and I'm sure that slowed the production down crazy. And I will say it's very lucky, if this was not on purpose, that it coincided with the release of this box set. The fact that these came out the same day. Like, this was the actual release date was today. This is what Amazon and everything. Now, Scream Factory sent them out early to everybody, but the actual release date for this was October 13th, which I got it today. And we're definitely going to look through this as soon as I'm done here with this discussion on it. But what are you guys thinking? Obviously, I want to see your comments live here, but I also want to see your comments below once this video has finished. So what did you guys think of Never Hike in the Snow? Were you satisfied? Did you feel it was too short? Did you freak out when you saw Rick the Dick? I thought that was great, man. That was a total surprise for me. A very welcome surprise. And who he's going to get in the future. I mean, could we see Megan? Could we see somebody else from the franchise? I mean, who else would there really be able to come back from if he's only drawing from Jason Lives? I mean, I guess he could bring in people from other sequels. I mean, he could go and draw from, 5 or 6, or bring back Reggie the Reckless or something. I mean, if you saw Reggie the Reckless, holy shit, dude, I'd fucking freak out. That would be cool. If he could get Reggie the Reckless, that would be fucking cool, man. Him and Tommy Jarvis going together, that would be badass. So I don't know if that's possible. I'm just trying to think of everyone who survived in the later sequels that would make kind of a comeback and that are attached to Tommy Jarvis. I guess he could, I don't know. Would he? I don't think he would go with like a Tina route. I don't know if we go supernatural and shit. Although Jason is supernatural, but there is an interaction that he has in this I wasn't expecting, and I was surprised and quite enjoyed that. So, but yeah. So I don't know what else I can say about it without spoiling it. But I was a fan. It's just short, and it needs its follow-ups quickly. That's all. Tom Matthews is just barely in it. I think he says 3 words in the entire fucking thing, and I think he's on screen for maybe 15 seconds, 20 maybe. So him being top build, of course, it's just because his name. but you get much more of Rick in this. Much more in this. And of course, they do callbacks to Jason Lives, which you expect. And I don't know. Some people might see that as fan service, eye roll things. I don't know. I feel like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't at this point. I think it's like, if you don't do the callbacks, people will be like, oh, it was a missed opportunity. Like, what the hell, man? Why didn't you use them properly? And if they do the callbacks, then they're like, oh, come on, man, you're just playing off nostalgia. Like, can't you come up with anything original? As I said, anything you do, you're just going to get it from one side or the other, or both. So, but I was pleased. I was happy. I thought it was, I mean, guys, what can we really complain about? I mean, we really can't complain. It's a fucking fan film that a dude made with his buddies. And yeah, some people throw him some like Indigo money, but that shit, I mean, how much did people throw at him? $10? Like, you can't really complain about this movie too much. But I think for what it was damn good. It's the best fan film that I've ever seen. Now, I don't know if that's like saying much, but to me it is. I think it's considerably better than any other fan film I've seen. And the second one being Never Hike Alone. These are just far above any other fan films I've seen. Now, please, in the comments below, if you've seen a fantastic fan film that's attached to a franchise, let me know. I've probably seen it. I watched most of them. But anyway, The Wanderer. Hey, Jason from Scotland. Love your honest reviews. I really like these fan-made movies. Wish these movies were longer. I wonder what the budget was for this movie. I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. But if he had 2,400 supporters, if I remember that number correctly, it was 2,400 and something. Let's say they all gave him $5 each. You got 10 grand right there. 60 grand? Oh, wow. 60K. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks very good. He shot it on a red, which is really, obviously a great camera. And you've got some aerial shots. You've got some really good camera work. You've got some gore. So 60 grand, I can see it. It makes sense. I wonder if 60 grand was towards this or 60 grand was towards this and the next few. That I'd be very curious on. So if it was 60 grand for just this, that seems like a lot. That seems like a lot of money for what we got, but maybe not. I mean, how much would he have had to have paid Tom Matthews, and how much would he have to have paid, Rick, and how much would he have had to pay? So I don't know. So 240, mathematically, you're saying 240 grand for a feature-length movie. That's cheap, and it's not. Depends on who you're talking to. Depends on if you're talking to low-budget filmmakers. I watch micro-budget movies all the time that have been made for 10 grand, for fucking 6 grand. My buddy Mikey McMurrin made Secret Santa, and I love that movie. So budget isn't absolutely necessary, but now Secret Santa does not look as good as this movie. This movie looks far superior to Secret Santa. But that's a feature-length film, and it was made for 6 grand. So, I guess it just depends. Or like Carousel or something like that. Like, there's movies that they make them for like 5 grand, 10 grand. But anyway, I'll try to keep up to date with what's happening next. Scream fan films, I'm good. Hard pass. Oh, Christian. Oh, the skunk himself is in the room. Holy shit. I am graced by the fucking skunk king himself. Wow. Now I gotta up my game, man. Mr. What's your podcast again? Is called TGIF 13. Now, Christian is from my favorite podcast, Exploding Heads Horror Movie Podcast. They've moved exclusively Patreon now, but they have a back catalog of 100 episodes to check them out. So if you love that and you want to continue to support them, which I think you should, they've now done 22 episodes into the Patreon world. Yeah, I'm going to shout the shit out of him because I love the dude and I love what he does and I love his co-hosts as well. So as much shit as I give the guy, he's fucking awesome. And he made this amazing Friday the 13th joke today on the podcast where he pretended he was old Gordon doing an interview for the box set. I, I was done, dude. I Gordoned myself after that because I was like, why even bother with any other jokes for the rest of the day? Nothing is going to top that shit. Now, I will say this though. They did say on the podcast they're all of the belief that Gordon killed himself, that Gordon died, or Jason broke his back and threw him out the window. I am not of this mindset. Who is with me? Gordon is dead or alive. I see it, and I've always seen it. Now, maybe this is just my, optimistic self. I've always seen it, because if you look at the scene, Gordon is the one throwing himself through the window. I do not see, it's not like his body's sideways and he's being chucked through the window. So he's clearly jumping through the window, right? And Trish runs into like every fucking body in the entire franchise. Like every dead body from 1 to 4 she runs into at some point in this damn, chase. She never sees Gordon. She sees her mom, she sees everybody, but we never see Gordon. So to me, Gordon jumped out the window and got the fuck out of Dodge. I just don't see it any other way. I don't see any evidence that Gordon is dead. But Christian's shit earlier, man, when he was talking about him being interviewed for the box set Gordon the dog, and he didn't talk. That was what was so fucking funny, man. It was like this dog noise, and he was like, I can't imitate it. It was so good. I made this joke to him saying it was like the dog father. Made my day. So thank you to Christian for that, man. That fucking really helped because I had one fuck of a morning, man. I had a really shitty morning. I missed out on this Lord of the Rings box set, and then another thing happened that was actually worse than that, but for me, I'm such a geek. It was like this Lord of the Rings box set was on sale today on Prime. This insane box set. Have you guys ever seen this thing? It's like a bookshelf, and all the episodes are in like books. And it was like $400, and they had it on sale today for $100. And I was like, fuck, okay, as soon as I have this shit figured out, I'm gonna go on there, I'm gonna buy it. And it was sold out, and I am devastated because I'll never get that thing if it's a $400 price tag. But anyway, so, all right. Gordon's alive. See, Tim, you know what's up, man. You know what's up. So the box set, let's check it out because I haven't looked at it yet. So we've got the Friday the 13th one here. Now the insert cover is the original poster. This is actually my favorite Friday the 13th poster, I think. Thank you, Justin, Gordon is alive. See? How many people think Gordon is dead, though? I see a lot of Gordon is alive. I know a lot of people want to agree with me because we're on my channel. But who thinks Gordon's dead? Outside of fucking, Mr. Skunk. Yeah, see, fuck you. I knew it. I knew his name was going to come up across the screen right as I said it. So he's not dead, man. What proof do you have that he's dead? That's what I want to know. Where's your proof? He has an entire podcast dedicated to this entire fucking franchise. So if you haven't, I shouted that out too. TGIF 13 is his Friday the 13th related podcast. So he does all, and they haven't done an episode in like a year, and he just recorded one tonight. So he's coming back. And I was giving him shit because he's recording a Friday the 13th podcast episode. He hasn't done one in like a year. And he's not talking about the new Friday the 13th fan film that just came out today, nor the box set that just came out today. And it just so happens he's recording it today. Everyone give him shit for that, please, in the comments. That was hilariously ridiculous. So the new 4K scan of the original cut negative, both the uncut version and the R-rated version. Really, guys, isn't there like a different disc for each? Yeah, theatrical version and uncut version. It needs its own disc. Guys, it's like 5 seconds different. It's like 5 fucking seconds different. You really couldn't fit the extra footage on this disc? Are you fucking kidding me? It has to have its own disc. Come on, Scream Factory. Don't bullshit me. Anyway, Friday the 13th, part 2. The slip cover there, the double cover. Always been you prefer the R-rated. Honestly, I don't even know what the difference is. What is the difference? Christian, please tell me. I don't even know what the fucking difference is. But I've never noticed a difference. I've watched the unrated cut. I didn't even see what it was. What the fuck am I missing? Anyway, so tell me what it is. I'll be looking for it in a second. The body count continues. What do I like better? They're so similar. Look at this. It's literally just this, and then someone just like took their fingers and zoomed in on it. And then isn't that what it is? That's literally what it is. Someone just like on their iPhone was like, nah, and they cropped it, and then they just popped it right there. That is it, right there. Crop. It's a fucking crop cover. What a joke. That's no. You can't just crop it and fucking call it a different cover. Oh, sorry. Oh, never mind. Sorry. This has a 2 and this has a 2. Oops. Okay. All right. So there's a little difference. The difference is Kevin Bacon's killing blood squirts longer. If you want to see some bacon squirt longer, join me on my OnlyFans account. Okay? That's the only bacon you need to see squirt. Moving on. All right. We've got Friday the 13th 3D. Now this one actually has the 3D, right? Yeah. But you'd have to have a 3D television. Yeah, Blu-ray 3D. Christian says he has a 3D player. Like an actual 3D thing, right? So, and you have the actual setup for this. I'd love to see this in like legit 3D, because those effects, those gag effects in part 3 with the 3D, they're so in your fucking face. Ha! No, but for real, they really are. It's just like, come on, man, be a little more subtle about it. Now, my favorite slasher movie of all time, Friday the 13th, the final chapter. My very favorite, not only Friday the 13th film, but my favorite slasher. And this is that like kind of conundrum, this like doesn't really make a lot of sense kind of thing that I say. But I always say this is the better slasher movie, and Halloween is the better movie. Halloween is not a perfect slasher movie. It's not even that good of a slasher movie. It's a very good horror movie, but the slasher, like what there's so much missing from Halloween from what I consider to be a great slasher film. The gore, there's 0. So right there in itself, it's not getting a lot of points. As I said, it's a better film. It's not as good of a slasher film. This is the perfect slasher film. This has every single thing a slasher film should have. Amazing kills, my favorite in the franchise. It has fucking the hottest chick and her tits. So we got tits galore here, and on the hottest chick in the franchise, in my opinion, Sam. And then we've got great characters. We've got Teddy. We've got freaking, his computer that don't lie. We got the Doublemint twins. We got it all. This movie is just the tits, as they would say. I don't know about these reversibles. I don't know. It does feel lazy to me, this shit. I don't know. People are saying that there's some issues with the discs, which I'm not stoked about. I haven't found any of these yet because I just got it, so of course I can't have found them. But yeah, so these, yeah. One thing I can already tell you this, because I opened this up earlier and I was looking through it for like a second, and I pulled out one of them, and one of them does not have a reversible. And I was like, what the fuck? You have reversibles for these 4 so far. We'll see. I know this one has a reversible too. Probably the most underappreciated film in this franchise. I did a ranking on this franchise, and this was towards the top. I love this film. Now, I will say, Christian, you brought up something. Was it you? I think it was you that brought up something today that I'd never thought of. I'm not really sure I buy into it at all. I don't buy into it, but I like the idea a little bit. Only, I don't know. I'm actually kind of contradicting myself at the moment because now I'm starting to be like, But anyways, what he was talking about was the whole Friday the 13th, Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell, the movie I fucking despise. And he was talking about how people were saying that Roy was essentially the first body jump of Jason, that Jason died in part 4, and then Jason's spirit jumped into Roy, and that was kind of that first evidence of body jumping. As much as if I liked Jason Goes to Hell more, I'd be all on board with that idea. I think that would be a great fan theory. But because I hate Jason Goes to Hell so fucking much, I like. He was talking about how it jumped into Gordon, and he had like Gordon's Rampage. I would watch that movie. Sign me up for Gordon's Rampage. I would totally watch that movie. But yeah. So anyway, so we got this one. And the flip is the if Jason still haunts you, you're not alone. Except for Jason isn't going to really show up in this, except for during a little like Corey Feldman cameoed dream sequence. But yeah, people really felt robbed. People really felt robbed with this movie, and I don't know. Like, here's what I always say, and I, if your issue with the film. If you don't like the movie, that's fine, okay? You can fucking feel whatever you want. I don't really care, to be honest. But if you don't like the movie at all, fine. But if all you don't like about the movie is that Jason isn't the killer at the end, then that's a really poor fucking like gripe with the film, in my opinion. Because imagine taking the last 5 minutes of the film and cutting it off and just like, it's Jason. Just say it's Jason. Watch it up until Roy's reveal, where he falls onto, whatever the hell those spikes are. And before it shows his face, just shut the fucking movie off and be like, no, it was Jason. Would you like the movie? If you liked the movie and it was just the reveal, I don't know. That's a real shaky argument against the film for me. Because as a slasher film, as a Jason film, it's great. It has one of the highest body counts in the franchise. I think 18 deaths, if I remember correctly. And most of them are great. I love it. I love all the characters. I love, like, pretty much everything about the movie. I don't see any issues. And it's got my favorite character in the entire franchise, Demon. I can't get enough of that guy. Ooh, baby. So, we've got Jason Lives. What the fuck is this? Oh, okay. I see. Okay. Kill or be killed. I don't know if I've ever noticed that before. Kill or be killed. Is that new? Has that always been on the poster? I don't know why I've never noticed that before. Kill or be killed. What the fuck? I thought that was the subtitle for a second. I wasn't even paying attention to the thing. I was expecting to say Jason Lives here, and I was like, kill or be killed. What the fuck is happening? Okay, so we have gotten now to our first film that does not have a reversible cover. You can't flip this one around. I mean, I guess you could flip it around and it would just be like fucking Jason standing there, but there's no extra poster, which I don't know. Like, you get to do it with the other ones, but not with these? That seems kind of lame, don't you think? Are they all like this from here on? Because I know this one is one of them, because I looked at it earlier and was very surprised that there's no reversible cover. Yes, there's a picture there, but it's not reversible. That's odd. That's odd. My part 7 is my favorite Kane Hodder. My favorite, he's awesome. Yeah, that's his debut. Sleepaway Camp wasn't as good as Friday the 13th. Part 5 has the best comedy in the series. You're right on that. I think you're right on that. I think Part 5 does have the best comedy in the series. And it's funny because Part 5 isn't comedic like Part 6 is. Part 6 is it's almost slapstick. I mean, Jason literally fucking has cartoon moments in the movie. He not only smashes someone's fucking head against a tree, and then when he slides it across, there's a happy face. That was such a poor decision. Like, I get that Tom McLaughlin was going for like this real like zany kind of atmosphere because of like Freddy, and they were trying to up more of the humor stuff. But dude, what the fuck are you doing with a happy face on the tree? Like, that makes zero sense. Like, I don't know, like Jason ripping the guy's arm off and him standing there and he holds it up and he's got like the dude's arm. That's better. But like the groundskeeper looking at the camera and breaking the fourth wall and doing the whole like, people got a weird sense of humor thing. You have fourth wall breaking. You have a smiley face on a tree. You have someone who has a literal cartoon moment where they take this chick's head and they shove it through the side of a camper and it makes the face indentation as if you were watching like a Looney Tunes episode. And that's essentially what this is what this was. It was like a Looney Tunes episode. So the humor in 6, and I've said this before, in part 6, when I was a kid, I loved it. It was my favorite in the franchise. By far. I loved 6 because 6 appeals to more of a childish nature. It's very cartoony. It's very Looney Tunes. But as I grew up and as I became more of an adult physically, mentally, obviously, not much. But as I aged, I just started to appreciate the darker toned stuff for 5 was another film I loved as a kid, but that was just because of my brother, and that's a whole nother story. I still love 6. Don't get me wrong. I don't want anyone to sit here thinking I'm bashing on 6. I just think there's elements to 6 that are just too much. That's just silly. The smiley face on the tree. If someone was like, Jason, you can remove one thing from this movie, what would it be? It would be the smiley face on the tree. That to me is the stupidest fucking thing in the movie. There's zero explanation. You want to do the camper thing, she pushes the face through and it makes the face. Maybe that's plausible. It's not, but whatever. The smiley face makes no fucking sense. It's stupid. I don't like it. I want it out of the movie. Just like in Halloween 5, I want the fucking clown noises when the cops are walking down the stairs removed from the film, and I want the director shot in a plaza in front of lots of people with me in the front row cheering it on. Yay! Fucking Dominique. You're going down, buddy. I'm taking you down myself. Inserting fucking dog noises when she runs into Max and it barks. I'll never get over that shit. We don't need a reminder that a dog barks, thanks. Anyways, moving on. Jason takes Vancouver. New York has a new problem. Hey, look at we got Julius here, and he's in a phone. Oh yeah, okay, I remember that. I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember that. We got the double shot here. You like I like Halloween 5, half of it. Half? Christian, if you like Halloween 5 so much, I don't know if you do. I can't remember your retrospective. How much did you like 5? That's hard to remember. But dude, can someone please, for the love of God, explain to me how that dude was taking care of Michael for a year in his cabin? I have mulled over this a million times in my head, and none of it makes any sense. That is the dumbest thing in the franchise. I love how people give shit to the zombie version where Michael's a hobo and he's wandering the street, and they're like, oh my God, that's so dumb. Michael wandering the street for a year is dumb to you, but a fucking random, I don't ever even know what to call this guy. But just some random fucking dude takes him in and what? Feeds him? Changes his diapers? What is he doing during that year? And then a hermit, thank you. Wyatt, that's a good way. A hermit, thank you. So some hermit just takes him in, feeds him, changes his fucking diet. What, wipes his ass? Does he notice he doesn't eat? Does he keep him up on the table for a year? Hey, there's a lot of word in town that there's a serial killer out on the loose. He was wearing a mask and we tried to blow him up 3 feet from your house. You might want to let us in on that. No, he takes care of him. And then fucking Polly wants a dead body. This bird is sitting there. Oh, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. It makes no sense. Who wrote that stuff? What are you saying, you fucking skunk? It was originally a rune-loving hermit. Dude, okay, there you go. Christian, perfect. Have him be a part. Dude, they could have fixed this dude, you just blew my mind. They could have fixed this in Curse of Michael Myers. He could have been part of the Thorn cult. Perfect. There you go. I like it. He molested poor Michael. Poor Michael had his dick sucked by some fucking, I was going to call him a sea urchin. I'm talking about Scrooged now. Anyway, all right, Jason Takes Manhattan. this movie, if this movie had gore, this is the problem with Jason Takes Manhattan. Jason Takes Manhattan needs gore. This movie should be littered with gore. This movie should have the fucking most brutal kills in the franchise. Like, it doesn't have much else to offer. It has a terrible final girl. It has some really dreadful characters. It's got a couple hot chicks. It's got Kelly who? Wait, Kelly who? I can't remember her last name. What's her last name? Anyway. All right. Jason Goes to Hell. Piece of shit. I might as well just throw this the fuck out. But yeah, we've got two versions. Both suck, by the way. Fuck off, Wyatt, and your bullshit. I sent your package out today, Wyatt. I sent your package, even though you're a piece of shit who likes this movie. Wyatt told me today to go fuck myself if I didn't like Jason Goes to Hell. But yeah, I fucked myself right over to the post office to send him Deathgasm in the mail. I'm not even going to talk about Jason Goes to Hell. I'm just moving on. I don't even fucking care. I didn't even look at what's inside. Fine, fuck, let's look. So we got this cover, Evil Has Found a Home, with this snake mask and everything. And then the the insert cover is literally the same thing. The movie sucked so bad they couldn't even fucking find a different reversible cover for this thing. Literally, it's the same thing. It really is the exact same way. Oh, it's just the text at the bottom's different. This and that. That's it. That's so lame. That's so lame. Come on. You couldn't have found a better reversible than that. Come on, Scream Factory. That's pathetic. Each disc is the same thing, too. Hey, you want to see this snake eye thing? Hey, guys, you want to see it? Hey, guys, you want to see it? You want to see it? You want to see it? It's fucking everywhere. It's everywhere. Why don't we put this on every single thing? Why don't they just put them on this box, too? I don't need to see that stupid cover. I don't need to be reminded that there's some little tapeworm Jason in this fucking movie 100 times. All right, Jason X. Much better movie for me. Oh, come on. Really? Same thing? Same thing? Same fucking thing? What? Come on, man. There's no better reversible covers you could come up with than Evil Gets an Upgrade and Evil Gets an Upgrade. It's the same cover, guys. It's the same. This one actually is the same. For the first time, it's actually the same. Look at it. Look at it. Same thing. Why even do it? Why even do it? Why? I don't understand. Why not make it like this, where you have just a picture of him inside? Who the fuck made these? I'm not saying I'm not happy. I'm not trying to be some entitled little piece of shit right now. But you got to call a spade, right? I am unimpressed with that choice. With these reversible covers, I am unimpressed. I will have to say. I'm underwhelmed with the reversible covers. Like, I'm okay with the first four, but everything after, not happy. I'm not happy with any of it. All right, next up, Freddy vs. Jason. What do we got for an insert? We've got, okay, so at least with this one's different. See, that's all we need. Something simple. Just give us a reversible that's not the same fucking thing. That makes no sense, man. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. Commentary by director Ronnie Yu and Kelly who? That'd be awesome. Ronnie Yu? No, Ronnie Yu. No, you? No, you. Wait, who? No, who? You? This could be a total Abbott and Costello fucking routine here in the Friday the 13th franchise. All right, you are next. Wait, you or you? No, who is next? Wait, what? Fuck, dude. You guys have not played around with the you name enough. You've been fucking lacking on some serious good material there. So now you got to get who and you. You know who I'm talking about. All right. This one's got this and this. So this is cool. This is one I like. Even though I'm not a big fan of this movie. Yes, I'm one of those people that does not like the fucking remake. It doesn't do it for me. I don't like the characters. I don't really like the kills. I don't like kidnapper Jason and like his underground lair, and it just doesn't work for me. It just doesn't work for me. Never did. I saw it in theaters. You know what it was though? I will say this. You know how you go in with some kind of like expectation and you go in with bias or you go in with your own whatever. This did happen with this movie. I will have to say that. In its defense, I judged the film for what I wanted it to be. That's not cool. It's not what you should do. And I always tell people don't do that, and I'm responsible for doing something I hate. But I've said it a million times. If you're gonna remake a film, please, like, you know, do something different. But okay, what I wanted, and you guys already know, I've beaten this with but because we're doing a Friday thing right now, I have to say, I wanted an opening where we got to see Jason and his mother and their relationship, just grow it a little bit. I don't need an entire fucking film of it, but it just something, a 10, 20-minute opening of Pamela and Jason. He goes to summer camp. She has the relation. I want to know why Jason is doing the killing. I want to know why Pamela snaps. I want to see that relationship between them. This is something I've been fucking begging for forever. Like, this is the whole driving point of the entire franchise. The whole first fucking film is Pamela's revenge for Jason's death. And we don't get to ever really see why. Like, show us Pamela and Jason interacting for 10 fucking minutes. Have them at a summer camp. Have her be the cook there. Jason's picked on. Jason drowns. She freaks out. She fucking murders and lays waste to everyone. We get a Pamela Voorhees killing everyone in the first, like, 15 minutes of the movie. How awesome would that be if we had an opening sequence with Pamela fucking Voorhees in the 60s just slaughtering people who fucking let her kid drown. And then someone cuts her head off. Jason sees it because he survives the thing. And then you see him out in the woods and he has like a Smeagol Gollum kind of thing where he like degrades down into like Jason. He grows up and he's out there and he's hunting on his own. And then he comes back and someone's like trying to rebuild the camp that killed his mother. And so he comes and he fucking lays waste to everybody. That's an actual story, and that's actually cool, and you can have tits, and you can have gore, and you can have all that stuff, but you can also have, like, a story to it. It doesn't just have to be mindless drivel. It can actually have some substance to it as well, and it makes sense for what was set up in the first and the second. Pamela Voorhees comes back for Jason's revenge. Jason comes back for her revenge. It's set up in the first two. If you're going to remake it like that. Give us a story. Don't just have fucking Jason out there killing people for seemingly no reason. We get the opening. It's like a 2-second scene of his mom dying. I just can't fucking stand. I can't stand that they didn't do anything. Like, it doesn't... What I don't like about the Friday the 13th remake more than anything is that you could just see it as a sequel. If you were to take out that first, like, the opening credits, if you were to just take that out, this is just a sequel. It doesn't do anything to the franchise to reboot it. There's nothing revitalized here. It's just yet another mindless Jason out killing people who are on the campground. Lame. Okay? So that's it. That's my own opinion. That's what I'd like to see. And you guys can disagree with that. I know there's people out there that are fuck character development. I just want to see teens getting offed by Jason. You have 12 of those movies, guys. Give me one. Give me one that has some actual character development, that actually has some interaction with him and his mom. Just one. I'm just asking for one. Then you can go back to your tits and kids getting killed. But as I said, you can have that in your movie too, or in my movie as well. You really think that I wouldn't put tits galore and murder galore and gore galore, that's hard to say. Trust me, there'd be plenty. There'd be fucking plenty. It'd be the goriest in the franchise, and it would have the best tits in the franchise. I don't know, Sam is perfect. Sam is a perfect looking woman. Anyway, so this is the opening, or the insert of this one. Alice in the boat, right before Jason does or does not come up after. I can't, with the second one being what it is, there's no way that's real. But it's her dream. Why she would dream that, who knows? But at the end of part 3, you know, Mrs. Voorhees jumps out of the fucking water. So who knows? This franchise doesn't care about continuity. I actually do kind of like this being the outside cover. That's kind of cool. Just kind of making it Alice sitting out here in the water. I should flip them around though. Oh shit. I don't know. How do we like this? As a, I don't know. That guy looks stupid. Yeah, you can't have that. Never mind. I changed my mind. I thought maybe it'd look cooler, but it doesn't. So yeah, that's the box. Um, it's cool though, man. It's great to have the whole set in one thing. You know, they had that 1 through 8 Paramount set for a while. I did pick that up. I picked it up for $20, so I got it for cheap. And I bought all the sets basically, except for that tin, the steel tin. I never did get that thing because people were selling that thing for like $1,000, which is absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, so I'll spend a little more time with you guys. But how many of you have now watched Never Hike or not? Yeah, Never Hike in the Snow. Who watched it? How many of you here watched it, and what were your thoughts on it? Christian, I saw that you were writing me. He was DMing me, not only dick pics, but also his thoughts on the film as it was going on. And he told me that he was getting bored. Was that true? Did you end up feeling bored? Were you underwhelmed? Will you just be talking about it on some future episode, or can you give us your thoughts? And what are you guys thinking? What do we got here? I just watched it and I liked it. Says Mike Joseph, awesome. I seen it, liked it. My favorite kill was the beginning. It was a good kill. Very, very good kill. Better than anything in fucking Friday 8, for sure. Watched it just before you went live. Well, what'd you think? Sam is the hottest. Ginny is the coolest. It's 25. Oh, you were bored and it's 25 minutes long. Yeah, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign, for sure. If you were bored at any point during a 25-minute film, that's bad, for sure. I never found myself bored. I was pretty engaged the entire time because I was really waiting for what was going to happen next. But if you did get bored in the 25-minute film, that does not bode well for your opinion on the film, for sure. So I'm going to assume that you're a little underwhelmed with the project, which is a shame. What else is everybody thinking about this? Yeah, I don't know. The only kill in Friday the 4 was Jason knocked the boxer's head clean off. Yeah, Julius's decapitation is always been funny to me. Jason Lives Matters. Trump 2020 USA. Okay, which kill do you prefer? In what? In the franchise? My favorite kill in the franchise is the liquid nitrogen kill in Jason X. I just think it's phenomenal. I actually got a bit creeped out during the movie. Oh, interesting. During the Never Hikes in the Snow? That's cool. What part? I would assume during the body cam part? Am I accurate on that? Wheelchair kill is the best. It's definitely the most fucked up kill in the franchise to me. Like, this poor crippled guy is about to get laid. Now, I've always mentioned, like, he says, I do all right. I don't know what that means. Like, I know someone was talking about conolingus earlier pretty heavily, what I was listening to. Is that what he's talking about? He's gonna taste some perfume though if he goes down there and does that. Don't spray perfume on your pussy, girls. That's not gonna be good for us. I don't want to taste that. I want to taste fucking perfume. You ever tasted perfume on a girl's neck? Imagine it mixed with no. But yeah, I've always found that funny as fuck, man. Poor guy. He's like just about to get something from the most aggressive girl I've ever seen in a movie. Jesus Christ. She's just following him around. She's the whole movie. She's like, how's it going? She's fucking ridiculous throughout the entire film on how bad she wants this guy. In fact, there's a decent amount of that in this. You've got the other dude who's following around. Oh fuck, man, I'm blanking on names right now. But the girl in the Mickey Mouse shirt, and he's like hitting her with a slingshot, and then he's doing this like really creepy lean stare. And you're just like, dude, what the... He's actually a pretty good looking guy. So you're like, why don't you just like talk to her? Why are you being a creep? Like, I don't know. And then, I don't know. I can never get a read on that chick. Is she into that guy or not? I'm like, I'm 50-50 on it. Sometimes I'm like, she's giving him kind of like, I'm kind of interested, but I'm kind of creeped out. Like, I don't really know. And maybe that's where she's at with it. But I've always gotten that read where I'm like, I don't know. Could he have fucked her? If Jason didn't intervene, would that dude have gotten laid? It's a good question. It's a good question. And what can the wheelchair dude, Mark, right? Can he get it up? Comments down below. That's what we need to know. Did Gordon die? Can Mark get a hard on? These are the real questions in the franchise that I want to know. Oh, and here's another one. Thank you guys. There's another thing that I got blessed. Okay, so I did my review on part 2 years ago at this point. And I was talking about how the rat pisses next to Ginny. And people are like, no, Ginny pisses because she sees the rat. And I was like, what in the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, that's way too much rat. That's way too much piss for a rat. I've always seen it as the rat pissing. Ginny's pants would be soaked. Okay. And also, she pisses herself when she sees a rat, but she doesn't piss herself when she sees all of her friends killed in front of her. That does not hold water, nor does she. Jenny pissed. You're on that camp. See, I don't get that. I don't get it. You're on the Jenny pisses too? No, I've never seen it that way. Where's Jenny? Like, okay, now we've got 4K scans. I'm going to be looking at Jenny's pants, and they better be soaked. They better be fucking soaked. All right? It is a lot of piss for a rat. I will say that. I just don't see why Jenny would piss herself when a rat got close to her face. There is a fucking serial killer trying to kill her, and she's not pissing herself. But, yeah, okay, rats are scarier than corpses, but are rats scarier than a active serial killer in the room? I don't know. I've seen plenty of people. Everyone seems to be against me here. Everyone seems to be on the Ginny pisses thing. And with the amount of piss, okay, fine. You think it's a mouse? Did Paul die? Good question. Good question. Who knows? Because with this franchise, you can never take anything you see on the screen as real. Especially at the end. At the end, like, at the end of all of these movies, pretty much the first, 5, you're sitting there going, did that ending even happen? I think in the first entire 5 films in this franchise, you're like, did that happen? Did it not happen? There's like fake outs in every single one of them. And then it ends on something and you're like, okay, but how does that play into the next film? Because then the next film happens and you're like, that almost kind of negates it. So, no spoilers, please. I didn't give any spoilers. Spoilers for what? Spoilers for Never Hike Alone? Are you saying that to people in the comments? Because I haven't said shit. Anyway, I'm giving spoilers for the fucking Friday the 13th franchise that's been out for 30 years. So, anyway. But yeah, did Paul die? No. I don't see any reason to believe that Paul died. I just don't, because and this has always been my proof that Paul doesn't die. We might not be together on the rat piss, but we got to be together on this. Because if you were to take the beginning of part 3, which Jason gets up from having the fucking machete rammed right through his clavicle, boom, right here. He then gets up from that and he goes over to, the beginning of part 3. He goes over to fucking Harold's house and whatnot. So the whole dream sequence with Muffin coming through and all, that did not happen. That did not happen. Paul comes in, he wrestles Jason, Ginny puts the fucking thing through there, they go back to the house and they pass out. And Paul isn't injured like he's gonna die. Jason does not come and kill Paul. I just don't see any evidence to it. I mean, I'll listen to any rebuttal here. I just don't see any evidence to it. If you're to take 3 into consideration, what evidence is there? I don't see any. So it has to be a dream. But every one of these ends with a dream. Every one of them. You have the Jason fucking reveal at the end of part 1. You've got the Paul, the Jason jumping through the window at the end of part 2. At the end of part 3, you got Mrs. Voorhees coming up out of the water. At the end of part 4, you've got Tommy's like crazy stare. I guess that one isn't really much of one, so I guess we don't really have one there. But and it makes sense pulling into. But so I guess 4 doesn't have one. But then 5, you do have the fake out where she comes in the room and Tommy stabs her, and then she wakes up, and then Tommy comes up behind her with a knife and he's gonna kill her. So did that happen? Did he kill Pam? Did he come up behind her and say, "Hello, Pam"? I don't know. We don't know. So he breaks the window to draw someone into the room, and then he has Jason's mask. Where he got that mask? Where did he get Jason's mask? How the fuck is he wearing the mask? Did I remember? Yeah, no. How the fuck would he have that mask? He wouldn't. So, yeah, she's my girlfriend. Dude, that's the best shit. Reggie the Reckless interacting with Demon is the best thing in this franchise to me. I love it so much. Brooker or White? I'm more of a Ted White guy. Booker probably. I mean, I'm a Friday 4 fanboy, so. It was Roy's mask. Tommy, how did Tommy get Roy's mask? He just went down there and grabbed it? Like, that isn't police evidence? They wouldn't be like, "Yo, homeboy, you can't take that with you. This is an active crime scene. You can't have the mask." He just went and grabbed it. The story, he got the mask from that guy's in the store in part 3. He made it himself. He makes masks. So there you go. He went and grabbed. When he went down there to get some of those cables, the little bypass cables or whatever. What did you think of Friday the 13th game? I can't figure that game out, man. I've played it. I go online, I play it for like an hour, and then I get frustrated because like everyone seems to be a fucking ninja, and I'm just shit at the game. The controls are so clunky. I don't get the game at all. I really don't understand it. I've tried. I'm not a huge gamer, but I'm a pretty big gamer. I've been gaming my entire life. I game every fucking night with my brother. I love gaming, but I don't get the controls, man. I would have to watch some videos of how to play the damn game, because I just sit there and like Jason comes in and he's just this demon, and then when I'm fucking Jason, which I actually am Jason, but when I'm actual Jason Voorhees, I can't fucking do nothing. So the game, I did play through some of the like story mode a little bit, and that was pretty cool. I always miss these live videos. Oh, you're here. You didn't miss it, man. Yeah, I went through the box set. Are you a big Kane Hodder fan? I'm a huge fan of him, and he's my favorite Jason. Yeah, I mean, I like him. He's not in the best of the franchise, of course. I mean, I would obviously probably like him a whole lot more if he was Jason in 2, 3, and 4. But yeah. How did the dude get Jason's axe wound mask in part 8 after it was destroyed? And how did he know it had an axe mark? Dude, how did someone get a picture of Jason and it got into Roy's wallet? Can someone answer that? Dude, there's nothing makes fucking any sense in this franchise. Roy has a fucking photograph of Jason in his wallet. That is so stupid. It is so fucking stupid. It makes no sense at all. But yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, his mask is broken. Dude, yeah, it blows up in part 7. He literally like breaks out of it. So I don't know, man. I don't got anything. Christian, if that's your question, dude, answer me this. This is the dumbest thing possibly in the franchise. Jason sails a boat from a lake to the ocean in part 8, okay? The opening is him taking a boat and sailing it from Camp Crystal Lake to the ocean. Anybody got anything on that? No, you don't, okay? It makes 0 sense. And here's another thing. Fucking Camp Crystal Lake is in New Jersey. They're taking a cruise to New York. Anybody? Why would you need to take a cruise from fucking New Jersey to New York? It's next door. Dude, I don't know. I guess maybe there's nothing. I mean, nothing. Nobody puts any thought into this shit. Doesn't make any sense. But whatever. I love it. I love it. That's all I can say. I love it. The end. There's a lot of dumb shit. There's a lot of dumb shit. There is. There's all sorts of things that we can disagree about or not figure out or whatever forever. There's never going to make any sense. Why does Jason look so different in film to film? Because we ever only see him once? Well, we know we see him in part 3, for sure. It's a party cruise, so they just do a circle. They go out and then they just circle around and then they come back. They need that big of a ship for a party cruise. They got on the fucking Titanic for a party cruise. Those party cruise ships are tiny. They're little yachts. They don't fucking take out like some shipping lane ship for a fucking party cruise, okay? No, I ain't buying it. Good try. They're fucking spending the night. They have their own rooms, man. It's a party cruise. A party cruise goes out, you party, and you come back. You don't have a room. Anyway, but you know what? It's the best explanation we got. So I'll go with party cruise. Sure, why not? Jason sailed on the blood of his victims. That was good. That was funny. I liked that. What do you think of the kid eating chocolate bars as he... Dude, I've talked about this shit. This shit's so funny. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't read the rest of your shit. That he was fucking diddling Corey Feldman? Oh, I didn't know that. That's terrible. That's terrible. I don't know. I didn't know anything about that. Is that in that Corey Feldman, or yeah, that documentary he made? Didn't he make like some documentary on like Corey Haim getting molested? Did he bring it up in his book? I didn't even know this was a thing. So, fucking, you know, I guess Vic, you know, did what people should. Maybe that's why Vic cut his ass up, was because he saw him fucking around with Corey Feldman on set, so it took him down. I had no idea. That's terrible. So I can't really comment on it because that's first I'm hearing of it. But I mean, what do I think of children getting molested? I don't like it. Thumbs down. 0 out of 10. I don't know what else to say. It's terrible, obviously. So yeah, I don't know. Do I believe it? I just heard about it, so I don't know. Not good. Anyway, sorry. He died recently. Yeah, I saw that. Well, if he fucked a kid, then good. Someone hopefully chopped him up with an axe. After part 5, the films went downhill fast, except for Final Friday. Really go hard. You do love Final Friday. Wow, that's a wrong opinion. Just kidding. I think Camp Crystal Lake connects to the Hudson River, actually. It's a lake. Yeah. Magic rat piss. Jason had Mrs. Frizzle from the Magic School Bus. I don't know anything about the Magic School Bus. I don't think I've ever seen even a fucking like second outside of maybe a trailer for it or something. But I never saw any Magic School Bus. So I don't get that reference. It's very, very rare that I don't get a reference. Pop culture references, I'm usually there. I'm usually with you on those, but this one I got nothing. So, well, guys, I think it's time to about wrap it up. It was fun. Lakes can connect to rivers. Yeah, but dude, like a lake connecting to a river, could you sail a boat across it? Like where the little channel connects? Could you get it up the river? A river runs through it. Jason runs through it. Like, is it possible? Is there a lake that has a river big enough that you could take the ship that he fucking killed those kids on, and he sail it to the ocean? Is that possible? Show me one. I don't know. Is it possible? Maybe. But when are you going to release some merch? I actually have had merch forever. I've had it forever. So it's in the descriptions below. Never seen Necromantic. Never seen 1 or 2. Never had some. Sell some EH merch. Do you guys even have merch? Do you have merch? I don't think. Do you? And Exploding Heads? I don't know. Yeah, last plug for them though, guys. Seriously, Exploding Heads Horror Podcast. I've blown the shit on the channel enough. You should watch it, or you should listen to it. Should I say? They're fucking fantastic. They have such great chemistry. They're great guys. I talked to each one of them individually. They're all really stand-up great guys. I genuinely mean that, and they have the best podcast for horror online. Period. So I couldn't recommend it higher. Although you'll probably go there and then you'll never come back here because, you know, you're going to be like, well, why am I even listening to Jason? The reason you come to me, though, is because I can review things very quickly and a lot of them. And they only put out an episode like once every like week and a half. They've been killing it lately, though. They've been really killing it lately. You can see that like I have someone in the room that like I really respect because I'm like blowing him left, right, and center. Ever seen the Blair Witch Legacy fan film? No, I haven't, Amanda. Ooh, a Blair Witch fan film? That'd be cool. If you wrote a screenplay, which horror director would you want to direct it? Marco Polo, you fucking skunk prick. Who would I want to direct my script? Shit. Probably one of my... like if I had to pick a named director, not just one of my friends. It's a good question. Maybe that, what is his name? Christopher Smith, I think that's his name. He did like Triangle, and he has a film coming out really soon. I think a Shudder movie. Look up his filmography. Severance. He has a pretty damn solid filmography. I don't feel like he gets enough attention. And I feel like he is a really good director, a really good horror director. Creep, he also did Creep, the train one. So he's solid, man. I wouldn't want to pick someone obvious like Flanagan or James Wan or, you know, Ari Aster, because fucking Ari Aster is going to write a better script than I could ever fucking write, you know, or Robert Eggers or any of these guys that I really respect. But like, I want to pick someone who just doesn't get enough attention in the horror genre, but makes really solid genre films. And I think that Christopher Smith is one of those guys that's just kind of overlooked as a genre filmmaker. So I'd be honored, obviously, to work with him. And I have written many scripts, and I would love to get them made. Maybe I'll get together with Christian. There we go. I want Christian Luciani. That's who I want. The filmmaker, the skunk himself. I want him in the director's chair. We can work on a film together. They keep talking about making a movie, but it never happens. I got scripts for days, man. Let's do them. But Red State is a good movie. I agree. House on the Edge of the Park, great performance by the lead villain in that movie. He sells the whole fucking film. Tetsu, the Iron Man, I've never seen it. I've seen some of it, and I know isn't there a few of them? I have not seen them. The Haunting of Bly Manor, I have watched 8 of the 9 episodes. I will finish it tonight. I'm currently watching Monsterland, the Hulu original television series, and The Haunting of Bly Manor. And then I have the 2 Amazon Prime movies, which is The Evil Eye and the, what's the other one called? Brandon from Exploding Heads watched it earlier, and he said he loved it. He said it was great, which I'm really excited because we line up probably 85% of the time. I have not watched the Fear of the Walking Dead episode yet because I'm not caught up on season 5 completely yet, but I will eventually. But guys, I'm really trying to keep up on everything. 10 Cloverfield Lane is very good. Yeah, I enjoy it. Obviously, it doesn't really attach to the franchise a whole hell of a lot. You could cut off the last 5 minutes and it wouldn't be a Cloverfield film at all, but I still think it's a great film. Great performance by Mary Elizabeth Winstead and, of course, John Goodman. But I think my battery is about to die. Have I ever seen I Saw the Devil? Yes, I have. It's phenomenal. I think it's one of the greatest movies, one of the greatest genre films, if not one of the greatest films ever made. If you guys haven't seen I Saw the Devil, please do yourself a favor. It's phenomenal. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for everyone who was commenting, and I'll see you guys soon. Adios.